Well, welcome to another video. I have a massive list that I keep next to the computer where I just add ideas for videos, pictures, things that I want to do. Some are very specific, but one is a location that I've never been to before, and I want to shoot the Milky Way there. So I don't want to arrive during the night, so I'm going to do a recce tomorrow because we haven't had clear skies in the last little bit. It's going to be just overcast again. But I want to check it out because I think it'll look cool. And again, I want to know what the surroundings look like. So when I go at night, I'll have an idea what to do, because looking for composition in pitch black is not ideal, also not safe. So the one that I'm going to do is this one, Clam Harbour.
It's about an hour up the coast from the city, set within the provincial park with a really nice beach. What caught my attention is how the water flows out across the sand and further along a more rugged coastline that can make for some great foregrounds for a Milky Way shot. That's where I'm planning to head tomorrow. Well, welcome to Clam Harbour Beach. Walking backwards here because it's a tad windy, so hopefully I don't have any audio issues, but I'm gonna head up to the rocks back here to see if there's any compositions for the Milky Way. I did get distracted a little at the start. I think there's some nice images right off the start there, and then I'll push on a little bit further where the larger amount of water is coming out through the beach. And again, a recce for some Milky Way photography, although this is a nice beach here. We're definitely not on the Bay of Fundy, so this is the Atlantic Ocean. So, but yeah, we'll trek on, get up there, it's not that far, and see if there's stuff to shoot the Milky Way with. So the Milky Way would be kind of along here, and it's well away from Halifax light pollution. In fact, Halifax is kind of more on the other side. So you could work this into like any composition. It's not a sea stack per se, but I think it would add an interesting element to a foreground. But there's more back here, so I'm going to keep going. I think there's potential here using these rocks as a leading line into the scene. Again, this one's going to be a little more dependent if the Milky Way is in this general area. But I think with a wide enough view and a little low, you could have a nice perspective. So I think that horseshoe area back there might be an interesting one too, but on the way back I saw this. I'm just gonna put a 10 stop ND filter on to kind of smooth some of those waves out. Give me about 6-second shutter speed. Should do the trick. Way too windy for the vibration on tripod. And go right down below here. Maybe it's out of the way of the wind. So that didn't work. I lost the waves from the advantage of the height up here. So onward. So this is tidal, not Bay of Fundy tides, but you can see the water comes all the way up to here. So that will change compositions depending on the tide, but I think there's plenty here to work with, even if not just right at the start. Something that kind of intrigues me is I saw my reflection while walking in the shallow area. And I'm wondering if the stars will reflect in that water, and maybe even the Milky Way on a nice long exposure. It would be really dark out here too, so I don't know. We'll see when we have clear skies. Right now it's a full moon anyway, so wouldn't be doing Milky Way, but nice beach for sure. Well, I took too long to get back. Those two dogs are gonna ruin any of that nice clean beach, but I did have it to myself for longer than I would have actually expected. So I'm still gonna walk down there to see what it's like, but I'm also gonna probably try to throw the drone up because I wanna just fly above these waves and get a shot shooting straight down. I think it'll be pretty neat. Also, even though my foreground's ruined by all the dog prints running across there, I'm gonna try to go for a panorama here. And I got the 10 stop on, really not caring, just trying to blur the water. So we're at about 6 seconds. Should do it, and just simple. So I'm finally pushing to the other side of the beach. And again, I just want to see how that water comes through the sand to see if it works as a nice composition. Again, this is all for the Milky Way. This is also a location to do like a sunrise or a sunset shoot, because I think it'd be really nice with some pastel colors. And that could potentially lead into the Milky Way shoot as well, depending on the time of year. I think in here already kind of works as one. There's a little, it's higher in the middle here, and there's water kind of along here. Again, this is all going to depend on tide. So obviously coming at after a high tide. So as the tide's receding, there shouldn't be any footprints on the beach either. And then you'll have water in these areas. But I think I might shoot that on the way out. And we're just coming up to this the spot here where the water comes out. So there's certainly stuff here to use as like a leading line, depending on how you position. Again, this is super duper wide, but well, there's a plethora of options down this way. There's some nice ripples in the sand. Again, if the tide's out, but gonna get one more shot here. Well, recce complete. Now hopefully I can get back this summer to shoot the Milky Way here. And I have a few compositions, and one of them I can just literally walk right off the boardwalk and get. So now we need a new moon and clear skies and time where I have time to do it. So just on my way back to the car, since the gate's closed, gotta walk all the way back. But I'll see you in the next one.